You feel as uncoordinated as I feel after that. Are the panel members making their way up? Okay. This section of the program deals with the ballot propositions that we all have the great fortune of having to grapple with in the upcoming election. You know, the ballot propositions are I think, the blessing and the curse of the California election system. They're intended for ordinary citizens to be able to bring issues to the electorate that the legislature hasn't dealt with or hasn't dealt with adequately. And we can all point to any number of really great reforms in California that have come to us through the proposition system. But the propositions are also really pretty corrupted, or the process has become corrupted over the years because of the amount of money that it takes to qualify a measure for the ballot. And the good news is that as seniors, we know that we are the most likely group to vote. The bad news is that because of the money in the political system, we oftentimes don't get the information we need to be able to make the choices on these propositions that are in our best interest. So Kara is trying to change that. We want to get information out to as many seniors as possible about the nature of these propositions. And how many of you have heard of our Senior Vote Project this year? Yeah? We're contacting 25,000 seniors throughout the state. We're doing mailings to them. We're holding candidate forums. We held them before the primaries. We have these 9 regional conferences that are being held, all in an effort to reach as many seniors as possible so that we can get them the information that they need, that we need, to be able to make informed choices on these propositions. We've developed a slate card. They're in your red bags. You've got multiple copies. Please take them home with you, distribute them to friends. If you need more because you're going to go to an organization meeting and you want to pass them out, let us know. We'll make sure you get plenty of those. Today we're going to highlight 4 of the 11 propositions on the ballot. And we have esteemed CARA members who have studied these propositions and will be letting you know about them. And when we're finished with the presentations, each presenter, by the way, will have 8 minutes. And we've got a timekeeper somewhere. Where is the timekeeper? All right, right down here. Okay, so you'll have 8 minutes to present information about the proposition. After each presenter has spoken, and we'll have a chance to look at the entire list, and we'll have a period for questions and answers. We want you to limit your questions to 1 minute. This isn't an opportunity for you to give long speeches. You may make a brief statement, but really it's intended to ask questions that you may have about the propositions. And then when we're finished with the questions and answers, we'll have a take action portion of the agenda. And I mentioned the fact sheets and the slate cards, and I think that's it. Are we ready to begin? Everybody feel awake? No napping now. Yes, thank you, Jody. I'm a little out of breath. Okay, the first presenter is Hetty Kelly. Yeah, be ready. Hetty is CARA's legislative director, and she's going to be telling us why we recommend a yes vote on Proposition 1.
Hello there. You know, if you were to think about priorities that CARA has had in the past 50 years, housing is one of those priorities. In fact, we wrote a silver paper on housing that you'll find in this book, because we know how important housing is, not just to seniors, but to everyone. You know, if you don't have a place to go at night, a place to sleep, a place to call your own, a lot of things go by the wayside. People worry about food, they worry about their health, they worry about time to think and rest. Children, if they don't have a quiet place to study, don't learn as well. And so housing is important not just to seniors, but to everybody who lives in this world. And the Proposition 1 is really dealing with housing, and it is one of the most important things on the ballot. What does Proposition 1 do? Well, it is called Affordable Housing for Vets and All Californians. And I work with seniors and people who are homeless in San Francisco. And in San Francisco, 25% of the homeless, more than 25 at this point, probably about 32%, are seniors and or veterans. And this one proposition will try and solve some of those problems and build housing for seniors, people with disabilities, families, people who work in the community, veterans, and that's why it's so important. It dedicates funding to help military veterans have a safe place to call home, provide stable housing for seniors, struggling families, people experiencing homelessness, and individuals with disabilities. It builds affordable homes for hardworking people like grocery clerk, nurses' aides, and teaching assistants. It helps people live in the communities where they work and serve while still having money for basics like groceries, medications, and childcare. It allows people to live where they work so they don't have to spend 2 and 3 hours getting to work and then coming home from work. You work 8 hours and you spend 6 hours traveling. It doesn't give you time to be with your family, to be able to rest, to be able to do things that you like to do. So this is really important. It tackles top priorities for Californians, which is what we need now: building homes, creating jobs, and boosting the economy. 137,000 jobs, $23.4 billion will go into California's economy if we pass Prop 1. I could tell you why we need affordable housing. How many of you think that we have affordable housing now? It really is very difficult to be able, a teacher in San Francisco would have to team up with 2 more teachers in San Francisco to afford to rent an apartment. My son, who is a teacher's aide, I had to introduce him to a young woman who makes 3 times as much money so he could afford to move out of my house and live with her. And I did it. So I understand this from a mother's point of view, from a senior's point of view, and it is a really important thing. So what we're trying to do is make sure that we can give shelter to everyone. California has the largest population of unsheltered veterans in the nation. Seniors and families are being pushed to the brink and live in their cars or double and even triple up in overcrowded housing as they try to keep a roof over their head, maintain their jobs, and ensure their children and grandchildren go to school. At my son's school, 16% of the students do not have a place to live after class each day. That is frightening. There is no way they can get ahead. So this is extremely important, and it puts in $4 billion, but it will really help people with jobs, help people fix their homes, help veterans get into homes, and it's the right thing to do. So we hope that you will support this. We also hope that you will talk to everybody in the neighborhood so everybody will have a roof over their head. And I finished 2 minutes in advance.
Let's keep track to see who else can finish under their 8-minute time limit. Thank you, Annie.